we're going to show you how to make this ear wire. I'm going to be working an 18 gauge today because it's bigger and you can see what's happening. When you actually make your earring wire, this is 21 gauge half hard. So the first thing I always do is flush cut the end of my wire. That is a must. That way, when you put it into your ear, you don't have a really pokey piece. Now I'm going to make my first loop on here, my favorite earring. We're going to be working from the end. It starts off like this, and then I repeat it. There's a gap right there. So you're going to roll until the gap is closed. Now it looks like that. Now the third loop is going to come in. Let me do loop number 1. Loop number 2, again, I'm going to roll that loop closer right here. Loop number 3, so it goes 1, 2, and then now we're going to do the third one. The second loop, just so you can see, is on the bottom. So I'm going to be working successively underneath. So you can see that this second loop is under the top wire. This one, so you don't have to work with your tool right pressed up against here. Give it some space. And then you can roll it in a little closer. Each loop is under the next, because when you layer and you're making loops, they cannot be flat on one surface. It has to be either above or below the next one, like when you're making jump rings. You can see on the plane that I'm going only like stair steps, going down, down, and down. Let me cut this. So here is the 3. I'm going to put it 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's correct. I'm going to do it one more time. So if you want to do your samplers like this and tape it in a book, over the last 30 years, this has helped me the most when I need to recreate something. It's nice to have a video, but it's not as good as when you look at it and you can actually see how you built the item. Again, you want to get that in closer. So you're going to roll in, and then the third one. 1, 2, 3. Now, this last one that I'm doing, this is going to be the ear wire that goes into your ear. So you cannot just let this wire kick out anywhere. It actually has to come centered. Here's where you can fix all your little loops. Make sure they're all the same size. Make sure nothing is like on top of each other. This one, we're going to grab it and make that come up to a 90-degree angle. Now in the 18 gauge, it's a little bit of a challenge because the wire is a tiny bit thick. So when you do it in your 21 gauge, your real ear wire size, you're gonna be like, that's easy. I promise it is. All right, this middle wire is going to come up to a 90-degree angle. Then it is kind of like wonky all over the place. I did hammer it to flatten. I'm gonna make that ear wire right here. Now, this is the trick that I wish I had known for 3 decades. Before, I would just hold the ear wire and come up and down. That's it. Never occurred to me to put an angle in backwards against the curve. So the curve is going to come up and down. What I'm going to do is grab it and bring it forward like that. That's it. If you have a little kink in your wire, go ahead and squeeze it out before you do it. I did number 5 and 6 on the wrap and tap for the ear wire part. So I'll just put it on number 6 for today. This is number 5 because the wire is smaller. So that's number 5. This is number 6. And then bring it up, over, and around, and down. Ta-da! You can already see that this jaw had a place to sit. Look at that. Look how nice that is. Just by giving it that little angle with your chain nose or your flat nose plier. I usually cut somewhere around the opposite side. Turn on my cut burr. Now it's nice and smooth. Get a little kick out. So the width of my Lindstrom is how much I kick it out. That way it's the same on my ear wires because it's always with the Lindstrom flats. Depending if you're using half hard or soft, you should harden the curved part of your ear wire. If you have a tumbler, you can do that and throw it in the tumbler, and then it will harden everything. That is the 18 gauge version of the real ear wire, which is 21 gauge. On all your information, whenever you make something, it's a really good idea. Even though this one is number 2, wrap and tap. I'll tape this here, because you'd be surprised. You'd be like, oh, I really like the dimensions on something. Then the idea of redoing it and remaking it at that point just to figure out, I would say most of us are like, oh, that's okay. I don't want to try and remake something I just did. So try to write down everything you can. This is number 2, the curve, the large curve is on number 6. That's this one in the demo. You can write your notes in 21 gauge soft or half hard. So depending on what you want to do, soft or half hard, you can then put number 1, wrap and tap, then number 5, large loop, small. Whatever you need to do so that you have your notes for later.
Jamie?
21 gauge is a standard. So is 20. We tend to use 21 because if you have an ear hole that is on the smaller side, even the 20 feels like it's sometimes stretching it. Just depends what you like in your ear. 21 is a standard for a lot of finished jewelry findings. The half hard is pretty strong, so it holds itself as a shape pretty well, especially after you tumble it. You can definitely use 20. I've used 18 as well, worn 18 when that's all I had. I was making earrings. I was like, I have to do it in 18 because that's all I got. Those, though, did make my ear hole feel stretched out. I do recommend, if you have 21, it is very comfortable.